Good evening, Long Beach community. My name is Alyssa Gutierrez, and I have the honor of serving as chair of our city's Human Relations Commission, a role once filled by Gene nearly 25 years ago. The purpose and function of the commission is to inspire and support social justice and equity in the city of Long Beach and foster mutual understanding and respect for all. On behalf of the HRC, I am honored to pay tribute to Mr. Lentzner, a man who spent his life fighting relentlessly to end racism and bigotry and ultimately improve human relations between us all. Of Gene's many, many accomplishments over the years, I have been really inspired by his work he led while serving as the chair of the HRC. In the late 90s, Gene led the commission to create a hate response team in Long Beach to aid victims of hate crimes and a conflict resolution team to respond to disturbances in schools and in the community. These programs were rooted in values of restorative justice and finding alternatives to conflict resolution. And what a fitting week to pay tribute to our very own civil rights leader, coming off the heels of a historic presidential victory in which the majority of Americans voted to reject hate and division and instead chose decency, respect, and the pursuit of justice. No doubt there's hard work ahead in the fight for equality and racial justice, both in our city and our nation. But as Gene once said, improving human relations begins with each one of us. We all have a role to play. And I'm proud to carry the baton and continue building off Gene's inspiring legacy. I hope each of us can harness a little Gene in us today as we navigate these uncertain times and never lose sight of what we're fighting for, a society that more deeply embraces love for one another and comes together to celebrate our differences, not be fearful of them. Thank you, Gene, and to the entire Lentzner family for all that you've done for Long Beach.
The stated mission of St. Mary Medical Center and the foundation I serve as president is to make the healing presence of God known in our world. Gene Lentzner is one who embodied that mission in a lifetime of service to our medical center and also to the greater Long Beach community. Let me offer one example. While a member of our board of trustees, Gene helped found what was then known as the Southeast Asia Health Project, today named Families in Good Health. Some of you know this story. In 1975, the Khmer Rouge came to power in Cambodia. Over the next 4 years, they perpetrated a genocide against their own people, killing millions, maybe as many as a third of the Cambodian population. Cambodian people fled Southeast Asia. Many of them came to the United States seeking and receiving asylum. Gene, always a healing presence, always aware of what was going on in the community, was instrumental in organizing care for these traumatized newcomers. He helped St. Mary partner with the United Cambodian community. Moms were showing up at St. Mary and delivering babies, but because of cultural and language barriers, we weren't providing sufficient prenatal care, nutrition, child development education, help with lactation, and all the rest. Gene and leaders at United Cambodian Community did the work, told the story, helped to establish what today is Families in Good Health, where we continue to provide care for moms, not just from the Cambodian community, but anyone in need, hundreds of moms every single month. Families in Good Health is only a small part of Gene's legacy to St. Mary and the greater Long Beach community. When I think of Gene, I think of Psalm 112, which declares, "Happy are those who fear the Lord, who greatly delight in God's commandments. They rise in the darkness as a light." Gene Lentzner was and is a brightly shining light for us all.
Beautiful ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to have a chance to talk about the impact that our legend, Gene Lentzner, had on my life. He was a true angel sent from above to our city. He was a rare, precious treasure on earth. The unique name of the Gene Lentzner Human Relation Award summarizes his life's work and his belief that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect regardless of their color, race, gender, religion, or socioeconomic status. I met him in the early 1980s after my arrival in Long Beach. I experienced financial hardship like many struggling refugees. I was struck by his kindness and warm personality. He welcomed me to his retail store on Pine Avenue with a bright smile I will never forget. I was so excited to see the same smile again in early 2000 when I attended the CCEJ award celebration with my friends. Gene recognized distinctive people who tirelessly worked at the grassroots level to promote inclusion, equity, and racial justice. Hearing amazing stories of his honorees, I feel I didn't do enough to help every youth who failed high school and needy people in the community. Then I determined to do what it takes to produce tomorrow's leaders out of today's youth and transform them to be productive citizens. A few years later, I was stunned to receive a phone call from Gene asking me to accept the award. He insisted on honoring me even though I didn't feel I did enough work to deserve it. It showed me that I did more than enough to enrich hundreds of young lives and help people. In 2009, I humbly accepted because Gene instilled a robust foundation in me and reminded me that I am not simply a chance to improve the inequity and racial justice in our community. Thank you, Gene. I miss talking to you so much. I always remember your smile, your legacy, and your example.